roll it. Here we go. Just roll it.
Welcome to episode 32 of the WireTap podcast with Alex.
And Carlos, what's up, Alex?
Nothing, man.
Hey, man, what's this ticker that you recently? So for those of you that don't know, right before we start the show, there's a little bit of banter. But Alex threw out a ticker. Maybe you guys should take a look at it. Ticker is EVLV. Edward Violet Lauren Violet. You like that? Instead of Larry, right? Like that?
Yeah.
But listen, this
it's supposed to be Lima, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go with Lima. Foxtrot. All right, here we go. What jumps out at you about this, man? I
No. So we do a lot of business dealings with a big company, and
so
I was
you
just
feel like
going.
You got some insider information, huh?
No, not necessarily.
We need to call the SEC on, huh?
No, it's my own speculations. I was just looking in the LinkedIn profile, and I was just checking out the companies, and there's a particular big company that most people that work for this company are following this other company. So it makes me just wonder if there's something going on.
Come on now. Who is this company and who is the other company? Go ahead, just throw it out there. We
already know one of the companies is the Evolve
Motorola?
Technology.
Is this Motorola?
It could be Motorola.
Okay. So Motorola, you're saying that there's a possibility that Motorola could purchase.
I'm just saying
Evolve Technology Holdings.
I'm just saying is like if a lot of employees for Motorola are following this particular company, and this particular company has gone public, right? Not too long ago. I'm not necessarily saying it's a buy. It's a maybe buy.
I would say just again, like I told you earlier, looking at the graph, looking at the lines, looking at the candles, it is a short sale, right? It's not a long-term hold. You're not going to see it. I don't think you're going to see it go past, I think the lid on it is going to be about $12 a share, to be honest with you. If you follow the patterns, right? If you look at the patterns.
It really depends on how it's adopted. If it's adopted where a lot of airports are starting to do with this technology that they do, it's basically like almost metal detectors, but with intelligent IR, analytics and stuff like that. Where
I mean the
the analytics and IR technology and everything that is capturing in case you have a weapon or something like that, they're able to detect and move people faster through lines. So just think about any big events, stadiums, airports. That
just
scenario.
Walk right through it. You don't even have to go slow like you do in the airport. Just go.
Correct, because it's actually detecting, and it's a metal detector. Like I said, analytics, IR. So if it gets serious backing from big companies or a big company acquires it, and they can start putting some money into it, I can see it really taking off. But like you said, for right now,
would it take off if Motorola buys it? Wouldn't that fall under Motorola's portfolio?
It depends, because sometimes what they do is they keep things separately, not on their portfolio per se. They still operate under an independent company, but who knows? It could be what you're saying. It could be enrolled right into their portfolio, and
if they purchase it, like if they go all in.
Yeah, correct. But
interesting.
Who knows, right? That's what I said. It still needs a little bit more research, a little bit more news. You still got to dig and just keep looking. But it's maybe something to put on your watch list for right now.
I'd put a watch list of 810. Once it hits 810, go ahead and buy. I wouldn't break the bank on it, to be honest with you, because you're going to have to pay some taxes on this, right?
Right now, it's around
unless you're buying it in your, Roth. If you've got a Roth IRA and you're buying it and putting it out in portfolio, and get some tax breaks there. But if it's a short sale and you're just going to buy it, in and out, why not?
It's
man?
like
you're gonna lose.
It's like $7 at the moment, so it's not like you can buy a couple shares and see what happens. But
there's a shift of $4.37 since it hit its highest of 11.72. But right now it looks like it's on an uptrend, right? There's an uptrend. It's just not a uptrend that has lasted quite long, if that makes sense. Right? I will say that even during the pandemic, it stayed pretty current. Like it stayed
pretty steady. Yeah,
it was so steady that it had a drop probably around August. Maybe it struggled with cash flow. I don't have their financials in front of me, but That could have been the case. I mean, anybody and everybody got hit, but that would be a COVID-proof type of company, right? But what's the point in buying more if no one's going through the airports, right? You could put them in schools, you could put them in airports, you can put them in stores.
I mean, it just depends, It's just that's what I'm saying. You got to watch the market and see kind of where it's leaning towards.
I will say that today I was at Lenox Mall here in Atlanta. Those of you that are, again, like we mentioned it before, even if you're not an Atlanta native in the state of Georgia in the USA, I know we've got a lot of listeners outside of the country, but there's a mall that I was at today, and after a certain part of the mall, there was metal detectors, but these metal detectors were not your typical metal detectors. They were on the outside. I don't know if you've seen them. They were on the walls, and it said just continue to walk, and then it said firearms are prohibited, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe same technology. I don't know. Maybe a different type of technology with a different type of housing as the housing that EV has, EVLV. It's kind of bulky. I would say it's pretty big, but I think it's probably because of the amount of people that'll go through it. Maybe that's the case.
Yep. And Carlos, we were getting to switching on topics, and of course, just keep an eye on that. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on it myself. So if you guys are interested, it's a potential buy, like we were mentioning. But there was people asking us like, "Hey man, what kind of questions would you guys do in is first date kind of questions?"
That was an interesting thing that people requested that we should talk about first date conversation topics. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's just and some of them
we
are
talked
important.
about this kind of before, right?
And some of them are important because some people say don't talk about this, but it's like the way that's kind of important to know if you're compatible with the person. So why don't you go ahead and just kick it off with one of the questions that we found, this particular questions that people tend to ask.
So it came about that social media has this thing that talks, it's basically labeled as first date conversation topics, ideas, right? Things that if you're, whether you're in your 20s, whether you're in your 30s, I don't know if this is a 40s thing, but maybe if you're within that realm, there's some conversation topics that social media is encouraging you to talk about. Now, I don't know if some of these are, I don't know if I'm okay with them, but we can break those down. So I know this is mostly a finance show, but they like our listeners want us to on occasions to go off topic, and that's cool. And this is why I'm so hesitant, is because I have strong opinions about this kind of stuff. So the first one, right? So the first one is adventure you recently had. I think any conversation on a first date is awkward, right? Any conversation, right? Because where do you start, right? You got to read the individual. Who are they? You got to have you got to do your research, and you got to have some background information in order for you to break the ice, right? If you don't have any of that information, man, it's like darts, right? When am I going to hit the green versus I keep hitting this red? If you've got some inside intel, use that. So anyway, the first one they encourage you to talk about is an adventure you recently had. I can tell you something I went through this past week. You see what I mean? Like right off the bat, you're going to go there. Maybe if you're having a conversation and it revolves around something new or something, an adventure or something that you learned about this certain adventure, maybe you could bring it up. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that one, Alex. Do you feel like
it's just maybe
right off the bat?
It's
like
just
this is an adventure.
No,
this is new for me.
No, I think it's like you're trying to get to know the person to see, are they willing to explore, or are they, because they come back and they just pretend, say I'm adventurous and I like to go places and go do things and go out of go on vacation.
But you don't.
Whatever, right? But I just say that I am.
You're a homebody.
No, it's not that I'm a homebody. It's just more of, let's plan the day, and if it's gonna be late, then I don't want to go. Like, because why am I gonna go closer stores?
You don't want to be out past 6 o'clock, Alex. I know you. After 6 o'clock, you're like, I need to be home. I've got to catch the 6 o'clock news.
No, that's not the case at all. But I just want to. Most of the time, I go to dinner around those times, right? Is the
then straight home. We gotta go straight home.
No, listen, that's the time that they want to leave. Everything's closed by then.
Right.
Like, what am I supposed to go do?
That's probably what you say, right? Everything's closed after 6 o'clock, so we might as well just go home. There's nothing open.
I mean, think about it. You go. Hold on, we're off topic completely, but let's just dive deep into this. So let's just say that by the time the lady's ready and stuff, right? We go. We're at a restaurant now. It's like an hour and a half to 2 hours wait. Okay, so that's 7, 8, 9. So we're almost eating at 9 o'clock. You finish your dinner. That's 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, what are you supposed to do?
Bro, if you live in those suburbs, then everything's dead at that time. But if you go into a metropolitan city, things are just cranking up at 10 o'clock at night.
And I mean, you taking your kids? Huh? You taking your kids with you?
Oh, man. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, whatever floats your boat. Anyway, so look.
Go back. So look, I think
in adventure, you think that would be a good conversation topic? Is what you're saying?
Well, I think it's just to know, it's like, hey, do you care about going places or going to do things? If you're a person that's adventurous and the person doesn't like to do anything, well, I mean, you're not gonna be compatible. So that's kind of, I think, where you're trying to break the ice. Be like, do you like to go do stuff? Because I like to go do stuff. That's kind of
what do you do. So you do one of the. So instead of talking about a recent adventure, how about you start the conversation with, so what do you do in your free time? Like, I know you, of course, working, and you're, dental hygienist. So what do you do? So, what do you do in your free time?
Yeah.
Maybe that will lead into that's a good segue to move into an adventure you recently had. Do you think you should talk about podcasts and being, books, YouTube podcasts, things that you recently read or your all-time favorite books?
Hey, I actually do a podcast. You gotta listen to me.
Actually do a podcast.
Should you bring something like that up? Listen, how about that question? How about should you, if you're on a date, right? If you're on pretend.
I don't think it's a first date conversation.
Hey, I'm on a podcast. You ought to listen to me.
I wouldn't say that. It's like,
no, you don't think you should bring that up?
No, I mean, not really.
What if you grab their phone, like grab her phone and be like, hey, you ought to listen to my podcast, and then you download it and you save it as a favorite. Let me make you a follower real quick. Like, would you think that's a bad idea, Alex? Is that bad?
Yeah, I think it's a bad idea. That's needy, man. That's needy. You don't want to do that. But I think if you want to know what the person's interests are, maybe that's a good way to decipher that. Like what kind of podcast, what kind of books are you into? Or what kind of movies you're into? I guess
you're a reader. Yeah. What if she's like, or he,
no, I don't read.
He or she is like, what did they say? Yeah, I love Stephen King. Like, where do you go from there?
Well, I was like, have you watched one of his most recent films? Like, go from there.
Yeah, like the one where everyone dies.
Yeah, did you see it? Georgie? That was a pretty interesting. And go
Tell
from
me
there.
What you think about the clown. Yeah. See what I mean? Like, you could take, like, you've got to be, my point to all of this, guys and ladies, right? You got to be creative, right? If you're going to lead the way, if you're going to start off the conversation, if you're going to continue a conversation, or you're trying to figure out what to say, because, in your mind on your first date, right? You're trying to figure out what to talk about, like what to say. Where do I take this? Where could I take this? How far do I cross? What kind of barrier do I get into? And what I mean by that is like the next one they say is your favorite childhood memories.
Yeah, I was going to tell you. So
maybe a little deep.
Your favorite childhood memories.
I don't remember when we didn't have, any bread in the house. Like, you don't want to bring.
I don't think that's a first date conversation. I think that's more of a second or third.
Third. Hey. Let's go with third, right? Let's go with third.
I mean, I think we would scratch that one off the list.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's a little
bit. Or maybe
too
like
deep.
If something comes up, you could say, "Oh yeah, I remember that when I was a kid. I used to watch,
No, but you're trying to get information.
The Royal Elephant. Yeah.
But you're trying to get information from them, so maybe not.
It's true.
I mean, if you're given that information, that's a different story. But I don't think you should expect for somebody to share their childhood memories.
Here's the thing. Here's the other one that I think is a little weird. They said on Lunch Actually. That's who posted this. And if you're a Lunch Actually fan, I'm so sorry. It says, so what do you do during public holidays and weekends? Like, who brings that up? What do you do on public holidays? Like, has anybody ever asked you? Have you even had that conversation with your wife? What are we doing on this public holiday? Like, it's kind of, it's again, I go back to, you're gonna have her run. Like, this should be a first date and the last date conversation topic ideas. If anything, I would say. I don't know about the next one. I'm not a pet person. Are you a pet person?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your pet, can you also show photographs? You know, it's like, I don't know, man.
I don't know if that's, but look, here's where I will say, and those of you that are pet lovers and you're listening to this, I'm sorry, I hope I didn't offend you or we're not offending you, but I think pet people, if she's a pet person or if he's a pet person, that's an automatic thing, right? Like that's their comfort zone, right? That's where they feel comfortable to tell you about their little Pookie. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I would want to know if they have a cat, because then that's yeah, I would want to know if they have a cat.
Why? Because that tells you about their personality.
Because I'm gonna be like, nope, sorry, like I'm not a cat person.
You're not.
So we're not. I mean, I could probably learn to, but nah, cats.
If Jessica Alba was on the other side of the conversation, she's like, "Oh, I love cats."
I think the cat was.
I think in that moment you would say, "Oh my gosh, my favorite."
They just stole our cat.
Siamese cats.
They just stole our cat. I'm sorry, they just stole our cat. I can't find it.
They just stole our.
Fluffy is gone.
You're a Jessica Alba fan, bro. Don't even.
Look, listen, Fluffy is gone. I cannot find it. We need to start posting pictures. Offer a $500 reward, something. But Fluffy is gone. I'm sorry. We can replace it with the dog.
Here's a good one. I think if you're like at a coffee shop and you guys are hungry and you're like, oh, you know what, we should probably go get something to eat. You know, and again, this is me and my.
I think this was a good one. Like your favorite restaurants.
My late 20s, going back to this, I would say, I think this is a good one. Like your favorite restaurants, right?
Yeah, no, I was saying that's a great one because I think it's like. You can pick some dates for your second or third date, that
or even that first one. I think who was it? I think one of our guests said you don't take her out the first time, right? You don't take her out to eat the first date. Did he say that? He said like.
Well, I don't remember. It's like it just depends, I guess. Because some people don't like to eat on first dates. Just kind of they like to get they like to get little side dishes or whatever.
Little appetizer. Right.
Yeah. You don't want to get too full, I guess.
Crackers.
Yeah. But
how about travel? I think that's a good one too. I think that's a good one. That last one is called travel. Like some of your favorite countries that you visited. But what does it say in recent holidays? What is it about these holidays with this individual?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I think it's a good topic.
You know what? I think just getting to know a person or trying to get their interests, I think is probably better. So whatever questions you can come up with, that it's like, hey, what kind of movies are you into? They didn't put movies on there.
Engaging, right? Would you say that? Just be engaging. Don't be boring, right? If you're boring, make sure the person across from you is a boring person too, right? Because then I think there's no pressure.
I think one of our guests that we had like a while ago said, don't just talk about yourself, let her talk, listen. So for you guys, pay attention, listen, and
because then you
don't do all the talking either.
Right.
You got to find that balance. You got to find that balance, I think.
You do, but that first date really will determine or will define if there is a next one or what the next one will be like, right? Or they just don't leave the house, right? I mean, that could be the case. But I mean, I think you need to be engaging. I think that's incredibly important that you remain engaging, that there's conversation that is actually edifying, right? But listen, if there's one thing that I would say right off the bat, if there's one question I would throw out, Alex, so one of the questions that I would definitely bring to it is I would say, hey, tell me about your new go-to addiction. Do you have a go-to addiction? That would be a question that I would say. Tell me about your go-to addiction. Like, is there something that you always run to? Like, is there a restaurant? Is there a specific drink? Like right now that's in my hands. Those of you that are able
what is yours right now?
Bro, right now, my go-to addiction, I don't think I've found. So it used to be, so I'll tell you this. So those of you that are Starbucks fans, and this is worldwide, right? If you're a Starbucks person, I've always been I've never been a coffee person. I don't like coffee. I'm not a fan of coffee. I'll drink a hot chocolate at 107 degrees, double cup it, Alex, you know how that goes. So add whipped cream up. Anyway, so I've never been a hot drinker at Starbucks. I've always been a cold tea person. I love tea, but my tea's got to be sweet. It can't be tardy. Yeah. So it used to be the guava white tea, right? Guava white tea, 10 pumps of liquid cane. I know you're probably thinking, geez, 10 pumps? Yes, 10 pumps. 10 pumps of liquid cane.
Yeah, Carlos is so.
Oh, I love.
So picky.
Listen, I drink my calories, man. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm a drink calorie kind of guy, right? So, and then you choose. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say we can tell, but I was just kidding.
It's like that.
I was being mean.
Like that. Oh, we're going in. It's okay. We'll come back. Anyway, so
I'm just kidding.
So and then you choose, right? Then you choose what you're gonna do as far as ice is concerned, right? But so it was that. Then I jumped on, I think it was like the strawberry acai for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
It's okay.
I like it.
And then I went to like the peach green tea. That was good. Then they discontinued the peach. That was destroyed. Right now, my biggest one, right? My publicist is looking at me. My biggest one is a Trenta. Here, write this down, guys. Go ahead and go get your pen and go, write this down. Here we go. We'll share it together. You got it, Alex? Oh, because I know what good drinks are. Here we go. It's a Trenta. I know you're not a Starbucks guy, dude. I know. A Trenta green tea. Okay. And you're gonna add the mango dragon fruit base. This is how you gotta say it, Alex. I'm one of those guys, just like you, but you do the temperature thing, right? Trenta ice green tea, and I think we talked about this, but this is my new go-to. Trenta ice green tea, mango dragon fruit base. I go back to that 10 pump, right? Because you gotta have 10 pumps, right? 10 pumps of liquid cane sugar. You listening? And usually the mango dragon fruit has inclusions. Make sure you say no inclusions, right? You don't want none of that stuff unless you want that stuff all in there, right? And then you just do a light ice. That way you get the maximum amount that you can. Did you write that down?
Oh man, it was way
You
too
didn't
much
write
stuff.
that down, Alex? Trenta?
No,
green
Trenta.
tea, Trenta,
tea
like
with-
in Spanish. Trenta,
Yeah, Trenta.
right?
Yeah,
Trenta.
Trenta.
And I have to say it the way we say it in
Trenta.
America.
Yeah, Trenta.
Trenta ice cream tea.
Trenta.
My publicist is looking at me again. Trenta
With-
ice cream tea.
Yeah, because you're so
Dragon
bougie.
dragon fruit base.
With
10 pumps
tank,
of liquid cane.
Yep.
Light ice. Okay. And that's really it. So that's my go-to, man.
Or a side or a cup of ice on the side.
If I need to, like if I'm having a bad day, we talked about this last week, my
'Cause I'm having a
biggest
bad
stress
day.
reliever. Because you had a bad day.
No, listen.
All right, so so that's mine. You don't have any, do you?
No, I
Like
mean,
you chew on, what do you chew on? Like pens all day?
no, I don't do that. It's nasty, bro. Especially COVID. Come on now.
Oh man, COVID free. I took the
You're-
shot. I got the shot.
Yeah.
I
Listen.
got the shot. I should get a t-shirt, man.
I think
Like
I
instead
think
of my
it's-
brand for Ernie's, I got the shot. Anyway,
Mm,
yeah.
I think right now is mostly like, if anything fails, I think it's a restaurant, right? I like to go to, I think my go-to is like PF Chang's, and I think you might have gone to it tonight, right? But
I was at PF Chang's tonight.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, that place is so good, man.
Oh man,
It's so good. And then, here's what I do there. I get their mango tea with half sweet tea.
bro, that tea is just, I have to ask every time. I tend to forget. I know they put something in it, but she said, oh yes, we add a little bit of mango. Oh, so good. It's just
Yeah, so I
fantastic.
just get it mango tea with half sweet tea. And
Yeah.
it's like, we got rounds to go. And it's
Oh.
like, dude, I had it like there for 2-3 days. Like I would drink a couple
so good,
for lunch,
So good.
right?
So good.
I mean, yeah. So that
Why
mango tea.
don't you
is-
break it down and tell
bomb.
everybody what a PF Chang is? Like what it's
Oh, it's a
American
it's a gourmet like Chinese restaurant.
It's an American.
No, it's Chinese restaurant. It's really good. I mean, they make everything pretty much
Is it
like
American infused or is that Asian infused? That's the key, right? Like it's not real Asian food. Like let's be real.
I mean, it's
It's
really,
infused.
but it's really good. I mean,
It's incredibly good. I usually get
No, what you mean? Like
the
the food is like man, the I think their products that they use, the food quality is at a higher
I was-
standard.
I was disappointed tonight at the shrimp. What did I
dumplings you got?
Yeah, the
ones you
dumplings.
always get?
Yeah. Oh man, you remember my order. I'm proud of you. I'm impressed for you remembering my order. Yeah, the shrimp dumplings is I was a little disappointed tonight. They were a little.
I like the dynamite shrimp myself, but they're really good.
Oh, isn't that the spicy shrimp as the appetizer?
They're not that spicy. I mean, they're not that spicy.
It's got pepper flakes, right?
I mean, look, guys, if you guys go to there, I mean, you can get the Mongolian beef is really good. I mean, you got the compound chicken is really good. You add some shrimp in there if you want to. The plain lo mein, I think that's like my kid's favorite. I like it too. It's really good.
Plain lo mein.
Yeah, just plain. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of other ones, but I think the food is all the food is really good. Depends on what you get.
I'm a kung pao chicken.
Yeah, the compound chicken is awesome. Like sometimes
I think there's a little too much not apricot. Water chestnuts. Is that water chestnuts?
No, it's got peanuts in it. So if you're allergic,
I tell them no peanuts. Yeah, I say no peanuts. Yeah, I say no peanuts.
No, man, they're good. What are you talking about?
You know what else is good? Their egg drop soup, man.
Ooh. Oh, I haven't had it there.
It's just so good. Really
but I think that would be my thing.
That's your thing. That's
the mango tea.
Like your new one.
Yeah, like the mango tea is like probably the decider. Is like, oh man, I really want that because it's so good. And it's like and I feel like you go somewhere else, I don't know, it's too syrupy.
You know what? We should do a PF Chang soon.
Yeah,
Maybe like a Sunday. I don't know.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then also, I mean, I think that's my go-to. If you would say.
Okay. I mean, it's not a bad thing, right? But speaking of food, here's the crazier part. You're talking about food, man, and I think everyone, if you're familiar with P.F. Chang's, congratulations, because that's hopefully you like it. Hopefully you've had a good experience. But have you noticed, Alex, that food costs? I mean, inflation this year was way more than 3% according to GDP. Right? We had a 6% increase in inflation, and I think other countries have encountered a higher inflation rate than we have, even though we just complain about it. Are you drinking a White Claw?
It's just watermelon. It's a seltzer.
White Claw?
What you talking about? It's a watermelon seltzer.
Did you just drink a White Claw? Is that a White Claw, Alex?
It's a seltzer. It's a seltzer watermelon drink.
Are you a 40-year-old Caucasian woman with
I've had a stressful day, man.
Louis Vuitton never full in front of your hands, right?
Hey, listen, I had a stressful day. That was in the fridge from a leftover party. So
why don't you just get you a White Claw? I thought I saw a White Claw. Well,
I mean, I would rather be sipping on some wine, but
oh man, sipping wine. What you doing?
Every time. Anyways, go back to. Anyways, go
back.
Yeah.
So food costs. Let's divert the attention from you, right? Food costs.
Everybody knows.
Are just outrageous, man.
Everybody knows. Everybody is if you guys are going groceries, you guys got to be noticing that your bill is higher and higher.
Man, bro, you walk out of there 5-6 things that are part of the food aisle, and you've already spent in dollars at least $50.
I mean, you buy like 10 items or 5 items, it's already $100. What you mean?
It's crazy, especially where it depends where you shop, right? If you go to Wally World, a little different, right? You could probably squeeze your dollar just a little bit more versus jumping into a Publix, maybe a Kroger. I'd say you get a little more value for your dollar at a Kroger.
Yeah, I normally shop like Publix or something, and I guess we're gonna be getting the Trader Joe's and stuff close by. But anyways, like I think
although Trader Joe's is kind of up there.
Well, I mean, the area that I live to, I mean, it's not like they have Walmarts around, anyways.
Well, that's true. I'll give you that. I mean, think about this: Frankfurt's hot dogs, right? An American classic, right? A tube steak, whatever you can squeeze in as far as a leftover part of the meat and make it into a hot dog. Encountered a 4% increase.
Rice as well.
4%, huh?
Rice as well. Same percentage. 4.4.
4%. How about that uncooked ground beef, man? I've noticed that. That's at a 4% increase too. Have you noticed that?
Yep. And then cheese as well, dude. Because we buy a lot of cheese from the daily, and because Sebastian likes that mozzarella,
little sticks.
No. for sandwiches, like the ones
Oh,
that are.
yeah.
He likes the mozzarella
The
one.
Sammys. Yeah.
And no, dude, that thing is all the price has increased. And also, if it was crazy, is they don't sometimes they're running out of stuff because it's on like delayed.
Man.
It was crazy.
Man, it's nuts. And I mean, I don't know if this plays a role, but recently there was about 15 barges, right? 15 ships, cargos that are coming from China that are stuck at the canal once again, right? This whole thing is a mess, man. I don't know. I think we're living in a different kind of time, if you ask me, bro. Sauces and gravies. I'm not a big sauce guy. Sauce. As Keon at the couple episodes ago said, sauce. The sauce encountered a 4.7, almost a 5% increase. That brown gravy for Thanksgiving,
so good.
That you just add water, throw it in the microwave, and spin it. That's what we do here, bro. 4.7, 4.7%. Yeah,
milk as well. I mean, the bottom line is you got bread, you got fish, juice.
Basics, right? The essentials.
Like frozen foods, like all this stuff. Like frozen foods is up to 5%.
5%, dude, right?
Bacon, whatever you name it, fruits, vegetables.
What did fruit? How much did fruit go up? I have noticed
it's 5.4%.
Yeah, because I noticed even one of the businesses that I oversee, we try to keep food costs under 30% as far as cost, and the margins, we still have healthy margins, but there is a small piece that I've recently encountered. I would say overall maybe a 4% increase in purchasing, just in general.
I mean, you got like
and
chicken.
You certainly see it.
Yeah, chicken like 6.
And chicken is running out, man. Have you heard of the chicken wing shortage? Have you heard about that? Wingstop, right? One of the biggest chicken wing in America. We love chicken wings, especially during football season or anytime there's football season, right? Or even before football season. There are restaurants in the United States, those of you that are listening to us outside the US, that their whole business model revolves around chicken wings, and there is a current shortage. So one of those, to be specific, is Wingstop. They recently went to thighs, right? They recently went into thighs instead of wings. Have you heard that?
Well, I mean, it's a 6.2% increase.
That's huge, man. Huge. 6% on chicken, bro. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it everywhere, every sector. Canned vegetables, 6.5. Uncooked beef steaks, 6.6.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell carbonated drinks,
sugar
7.4.
and artificial sweeteners at a 6%.
I mean, I'm already like going towards the last one, Carlos, which is pork chops, 7.8%.
Pork is at a 7% increase? One of the leanest meats out there is at 7%. I didn't know that one, man. I really
it's
did.
crazy.
Man, I don't really eat pork that much, but I love some good carnitas. I'll tell you that much.
Dude, everything. I mean, everyone's getting some shortage. I mean, we're hearing from our suppliers that some of our products are being 11, 12, 22, 32 weeks out because of the chip. Because, I'm in the technology sector and stuff like that. And
no, of course.
It's the chip shortage. The problem is the stuff is there. It's in the ground. But they don't have enough people to get it out. Workers to get it out of the ground. Then once you get it out of the ground, then you gotta process it. And then you got the second thing, which is the transports. They don't got people that are able to put the transports and then bring it over for distribution and then get it over to the manufacturing. And then you got enough workers for the manufacturing. And I think, dude, I mean, I get it when they were trying
manufacturing and food at the same time. I don't think that's
Nah, but look, listen, I think that our government might have made a mistake on giving unemployment so much high money that they were making. Like I heard from people that were making like $900.
Bro, they were making more. They were making more from home than they were working, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, by a lot.
You've got fast food restaurants offer. Yeah, I think I told you. I might have said this weeks and weeks ago. There's a restaurant in my neck of the woods that's like a barbecue restaurant, dude. A barbecue restaurant is is offering a $2,000 incentive, right? They're needing waitresses or waiters or whatever, and they get a $2,000 incentive. I'm sure there's some contingencies, but it's still $2,000 that they're offering to, hey, just come work for us. Isn't that nuts? I mean, we are certainly going to be seeing, or we're seeing, a big uptick or a big economic boom when it comes to jobs, right? But that's to be expected, right? That's to be expected because everyone is either fired, let go, or just quit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you see these changes, man. But look, I wanted to bring that up because, man, I don't know about you, but I've seen an increase, not just in groceries. I've seen it at restaurants. I've seen
everything.
I have seen an increase. I've seen menus that have not been reproduced as quickly as they want to reproduce those, that they just write it in, or they'll put a little sticker on top, right? Or they'll make a specific number, a certain number, right, with a pen or a marker until they get new menus. I've seen that happen. I don't know about you.
No, I mean,
or they'll
everything is like around
QR.
$20. I mean, almost every meal that you go out there is like $20 minimum.
Here's the crazy part. Here's the crazier part. Now that it's up that high, I don't think it's coming down. As far as restaurants, grocery stores and groceries, I think that'll drop. I don't think it'll be.
I think they would have
drop.
To. I mean, I think they're. I find
because
it
they're
difficult.
sticking to that margin. They've increased their margins, right? You've used the economy as an opportunity to.
But have they? Have they?
I mean,
they might have not increased. No, they might have been not increased their margins because if they're paying more for food and everything, they're just passing the cost along. If the food comes down, they could probably come down a little bit. But
or you
get used to
size.
Or you get used to making that high and money goes down. You just keep it because everybody's already used to paying $20.
I mean, you compromise the quality of meat.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, because there's, when it comes to picking a food service company, right, you can easily choose the kind of quality of meat. I've noticed it just in Mexican restaurants, and I love Mexican food, right?
Oh yeah,
I've noticed the meat change dramatically. I've said it to an owner that I know quite well at a Mexican restaurant. They say, "Hey, did you change the meat on this?" And he said, I mean, of course, he was very embarrassed. He was like, "Yeah, he changed it down, but you can ask for it in ribeye." And I'm like, I shouldn't have to ask for it in ribeye. I shouldn't have to. Like, that's how I know what kind of business you're running, right? Number one, that's how I know what kind of business strategy.
Where?
Right?
Where?
I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say. It's actually in your neck of the woods, but
no, I bet it is.
And that's the thing, man. I was really disappointed because that was, well, why don't you say that, right? Why don't you either increase it, right, or make a note of it, right? Again, that's
you have to make a note. It's also available on ribeye.
Right? Exactly. Instead of saying there's been a cost, everybody knows, just say also available on ribeye. And you put an additional cost on it. Because when I tasted it, I was like, this is disgusting. It was chewy. I could not chew this meat, bro. And this was it wasn't even the paella, and I love their paella. It was a steak tips. It was steak tips. A Mexican restaurant that serves the steak tips, and it was just I was disappointed.
I mean, there's a lot of places that I've noticed too, like the meat quality has gone down and stuff, and it's like if you have a strong palate, you can taste it quickly, and it's like, man, what's going on? Like,
yep.
But I mean,
and the sad part is here's the crazier part, Alex. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you on this, but listen, here's what happens. You're gonna bring that plate out, and this is just a scenario. Those of you that are listening, you follow me on this. Watch, follow me. You bring that plate out, right? And it's a customer that is a repeating customer, and they have no problem spending what they need to spend to eat there, right? Because they love your food, they love your establishment, they want to support you, they love local, right? Well, you decide to make this change, and of course, you're not thinking of that specific customer, and there's probably other customers that are the same way as you. You're no one special, but you bring that out, right? They serve it to you. You sit down, right? You're sitting down. They bring it to you. You're opening up your utensils. You got your napkin down. You're about to dig in. As you dig in, you take that first bite and you say, "What is this?" Right? In that moment, because you know the owner, Hey man, quick question. Did you change the meat on this? Oh yeah, man, we definitely changed the meat on it. Oh, okay. Yeah, you could ask, yeah, right. Here we go. Hang on. Well, you could also ask for it in ribeye. Well, yeah, I want it in ribeye. That's what I'm used to. Now, what you've done, right? Now to keep me happy, now to keep me satisfied, right? Now he's got to take that plate, throw it away, right? Throw it away, I hope, right? He's throwing everything away. If not, he might be able to save a couple bucks, right?
Yeah.
Throw it away, bring me a new batch with a higher grade quality at the same price, right? Number one, at the same price, because now he's got to make me feel good, right? Now he may even come back and say, hey, bro, it's on the house. Now he's lost out on 2 entrees, right?
Yeah.
Just to keep me happy. And he's lost X amount of dollars, right? Now somebody else, now he's got to figure out in his square footage how he's going to make that up, or else he just writes that off as a loss when he should have just taken care of it right in the beginning. That's just me.
Or yeah, like you said, it just put a note on there, upcharge of a ribeye, also available on ribeye for $2, whatever.
And maybe I'm a little upset because I offered him my consulting services and he was like, oh man, I'm okay. And I'm like, all right, dude, just trust me on this. But anyway.
No, are you just being sore loser then?
I mean, but no, honestly,
I'm kidding.
No, seriously, I was just disappointed at the approach that I'm like, bro, you're going to end up losing a whole lot more than just my margin, right? The $1.80 or the $2.30 that you're making on me, you just threw it out the door. This table now is at a deficit, right? Because there's no alcohol around the table, so you can't make it there. You can't add extra water than margaritas on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's just me, man. Anyway, that's just
talking about experiences and stuff like that, because obviously that wasn't a very good one. What do you think is like people should experience in their lifetime? Like, what is one thing that you say to a person is like, dude, you should at least do this sometime in your lifetime? What is that? I have one.
That's a loaded question. I know for you.
Well, here's mine.
I think I know what you're going to say.
All right, go.
Can I say it?
Go ahead.
Good food.
No.
No?
Obviously, right. that comes with the territory, right? But I think everyone should experience, especially if you guys are from the U.S. or if you guys are from a different country. It doesn't matter. I think everyone should explore a different country that it's not from where they're from, right? Is like, I think, like for myself, right? I've been to Mexico, I've been to United States. Obviously, at some point, I want to travel to other areas of the country, different countries, just to explore their, just to get a different feel, a different flavor, a different culture, just to enrich your life as experiences. I think so. I think everyone should experience a different country, whatever that is. You may not want to be that adventurous. You want to go to Canada. That's okay. You go to Canada, explore there. Or you want to go to Australia. That's fine. You go to Europe. Or you really want to be there. You want to go to like Panama or Chile or something like that. Right. Yeah. So I think I have goals in maybe later in life to go to Brazil, go to Spain, go to Portugal, go to different countries and just explore, go to Costa Rica, just explore. I know that you've traveled more because of what you used to do before and you were able to kind of get out there. But that's my thing. I think everybody should at least experience a different culture than our own, just to know how people are living, because one thing is when you go outside and you complain about, how bad you have it here. Right, you have no idea how bad you have it here. It's like the guy that's living in poverty. I mean, I forget the people that are homeless.
That's not even poverty, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like what we consider poverty, and the people that are living like you're saying, like, that's living good down in a different country. Except, of course, if you're homeless out on the street, and at that point, you're not listening to me anyways, right? But I mean, that was a little joke there, Carlos, but come on.
I mean, I get your joke, right? But it's true, though. What do you say? There's a little bit of truth in that?
No, it is true. I mean, if you're homeless, you're probably not listening to a podcast and stuff because you don't have a cell phone. That was my joke. But
Not in the United States. In the United States, you got a cell phone.
Even then, right?
You get the
Even
federal
then, you're
phone,
living
right?
better.
You get the federal phone. Even then, you're living better, right?
But no, I think honestly,
I mean, it's
think
pretty impressive when you see a homeless individual at a gas station charging their phone.
Yeah, that is impressive.
That is very impressive. Wow.
Like, but you know, phone? I think that's mine, Carlos. I think everybody should explore and experience a different country than where they're from. Like, it doesn't matter. Say you're from Panama, you want to maybe go to a different country, explore different people.
That's good. Just, like when you say explore different people, what do you mean?
Like different cultures, like different culture. Huh?
I'd like to experience you.
Well, that's
something Borat would say. Hello, wait. Well, I'd like to experience you. No. I think I get it. I guess mine goes along with yours, right? I think I'd like to experience you. No, seriously, I think mine goes hand in hand with yours, Alex. I would say, don't live with any regrets, man. I mean, I can get specific, right? I can really.
Yeah, that's very loaded. Come on,
right? It is. It's very loaded, right? Right.
Because I mean,
one thing you should experience in life is you think of something and it sounds crazy, do it. If you think of something and it sounds crazy, do it. That is one thing you should experience, right? That is one thing you should not walk away from because you just don't know, right? The learning opportunity there, you just don't know, right? Yeah. The risk, you just don't know. The reward, you still don't know.
You know, it's one of those things like, okay, like for example, you said that and I was thinking to myself, I remember when, huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's like back in the days
when experience you just come to my brain right now.
I went to a dealership. I went to a motorcycle dealership, and I was there, and I bought an instant. Right, I just bought the bike. I don't
think you should have ever bought a motorcycle.
No, but that's the thing, right? Let's just say that. Okay, so first of all, you can say I regret buying the bike at an impulse buy. Okay, you can say that.
You want to be cool during the time that biker boys were cool in your.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that. It could be different scenarios. I want to experience something.
With the boys.
But anyways, you buy it. But let's just say that I wouldn't have, and then maybe what I have regret is like, man, I should have bought the bike. So
should have bought that crotch rocket. Yeah.
It's either way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it just.
But depends. You did it, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. But it could be either way. Right. Regret because I bought it and it was an impulse buy, or regret because I didn't buy it and I should have bought it for the experience.
Did you get your money back? But did you get your money back?
I mean, I would say so that I recuperate the majority of it.
Okay, so it was a depreciating asset, right? A depreciating asset in a way, or either you just let it go because you were just ready to let it go and you allowed it to be a depreciating asset, right?
Well, I mean, let's just say that at the time, say I bought the bike anywhere from 9 to 12,000, somewhere around the range. I kept it for numerous of years. It was an 09. I got rid of it about a year or 2 years ago.
Okay. So you lost some value into it, right? So you probably.
So I kept it for a long time, and I sold it like for 5,000. So I probably like 50%, but
okay.
Honestly, like I could have probably sold it for more. I probably could have sold it for 8 if I really wanted to hold on to it. But I was just ready to. It was a
toy.
Me.
It was a toy. You weren't looking at it as a financial move. It was a toy.
No, correct. So I was just like, oh, if I could get 5,000, I'm good, and I got 5,000 for it. So.
Yeah, if I would have been around, I would have said, "Don't buy that bike, dude. Don't buy that bike." But hey, you got the opportunity to go 100 miles an hour in a
150 miles an hour.
150 miles an hour in a two-wheeled piece of plastic and metal, right? With no protection whatsoever.
And, I had a helmet.
You in the road. Oh, that's great because that's not even.
Allegedly, I was going a little speeds.
Anyway, hey, I get it, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. You still did it.
Yeah.
Right? You still did it, right? So if there's anything I would encourage anyone that I think you should experience is don't live with any regret, right? calculate, right? Calculate your risk. Don't be an idiot either. I'm not saying that. Those of you who are like holding on to every single word that I'm saying right now, right? I'm not saying be an idiot, but what I am saying, hey, have some calculated risk, right? Calculate your risk. Think about the reward. And if it's just one time, it's just one time. If it's not one time and it's 2 times, it's okay. But don't live in that, what if? What if I did that, right? What if I went down that road, right? Again, don't live in that for the sake of just wanting to live in that, right? Do something, right? Experience something in your life that you could sit back, look back on 20 years from now and say, you know what? There was some risk involved in that, but that was definitely necessary, right? I lost some things behind that, but it was definitely necessary, right? And I didn't see that then, right? Everyone told me I was nuts, but I look at it now and it was about me in that moment, right? So I would say, if you're going to experience anything in your life that I would encourage you to experience is, hey, just go for it. That would be me, Alex.
So
that's just me.
So the quote of the day is going to be by Maxwell.
Oh, you're going to bring it today? You're going to drop it? You're going to drop
the
wisdom today?
So
you're going to drop that nugget today?
So check this out.
You're going to drop that nugget? Wrap me up in that nugget, Alex. Wrap me up.
We must have the courage to bet on our ideas, to take the calculated risk, and to act. Everyday living requires courage if life is to be effective and bring happiness.
Bro, that's not a quote. That's not a quote.
That's not a quote?
A paragraph. That's a paragraph.
I mean, I thought it flowed well with what you were talking about.
Let me ask you this. Did you type in, did you type in calculated risk and then click calculated risk quote and then you click the search bar? Did you do that? Please tell me.
Yeah. I did. It was so good, right?
Oh, that's great. That's great. You know what? I don't need AI. I've got my own AI right up in here.
Here. I thought it was great, man. I think it was flowing.
Calculated. This could go really well with this show. Calculated risk quote. Bam.
And
then you drop a paragraph. Is there even a comma in that, bro? Is there any
there's no comma.
I felt like you said it in one whole breath.
Okay, all right.
This one
if you want me to do the pauses, it would be, we must have the courage to bet on our ideas, to take the calculated risk, and to act.
Pause.
No, that's
that was it. That was it.
And then everyday living requires courage if life is to be effective and bring happiness. Drop the mic.
I like it. No, it's good. I can't drop it because it's pretty pricey.
Mounted.
All right,
is mounted.
Say it again. No interruptions. Guys, if you're listening, ladies, if you're listening, this goes out to you. This goes out to you today. This goes out to you today. Go.
We must have the courage to bet on our ideas, to take the calculated risk, and to act. Everyday living requires courage if life is to be effective and bring happiness. And with that being said, I'm Alex.
Hey, and I'm Carlos.
See you guys.
Peace.
All right, peace out.
Remember that song?